Here. I'm going to begin the day of jihad, which is supposed to be scheduled for tomorrow. I'm going to begin that today. I hope you're all ready for this. This is air. That was a coincidence. I didn't mean to do that. like looking in a hippo's mouth. Here's what started it. Okay. You know what? Maybe I should find his. Does anybody have his previous tweet? Because Berin had a tweet last time where he said what he was going to do. He said he didn't want to file a lawsuit against Eric and he just wanted to work it out. And that he didn't know why Eric went and made a video about it, essentially telling all of his fans to go attack and review bomb the ministry and painting them as bad guys. When he wanted to handle it in private, this guy Berin, he wanted to handle it in private. He sent him a copy of the lawsuit without serving it, kind of as a cup check. Like, look, we're serious. We mean business. You know, anybody online gets bullshit sent at them, cease and desists sent at them all the time. So here, we actually went through and we think we have a good case and we think you're infringing on our trademark. They threw in an email that may or may not have been a joke, but it's funny. I doubt it's the only one they have. But the claims in it were serious. And instead of taking it seriously, Eric, in his quest to prove that stereotypes are true, and in his monetize the haters bit, he decided to try and monetize a Christian ministry by saying they were suckers and blaming the whole thing on me and Vito, where he said we would. Let me see. I think I have that clip. Yeah. This is what Eric did when he blamed me and Vito for trolling the Christian ministry into suing him, or not into suing, into threatening to sue him.
How expensive this is going to be.
This is what Eric said when he implied that he was going to sue me and Vito for concern trolling the ISOM Christian ministry school into suing him. He was going to sue us, and the reason for that being
how expensive this is going to be.
To cost us money.
How expensive this is going to be. 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 How expensive this is going to be.
Shit.
How expensive this is going to be. How expensive this is going to be.
Got it.
How expensive this is going to
How expensive is it going to be, Eric? With all your rock star lawyers. Do they cost more? I've hired real lawyers. They were pretty expensive. Maddox suing me cost about $50,000. Money that made it back on Patreon, but I'll never get that money back. That's the luxury of living in America, where you get to defend yourself in court instead of some jackass coming to your house, some former gang member coming to your house and dancing your pants off, which I'm sure Eric could do. How expensive is it going to be, Eric? You tell us. Write it down. Write it down, please. Anyway, instead of addressing the problem and settling it like I told him to do on that stream that I covered it a month ago, saying you got to pay some kind of licensing fee, probably an ongoing licensing fee to use the name, because you are infringing on the trademark. The comic book, you can trademark a comic book. So if you have a comic book named Disney, you can have a character in the book named Disney, but you can't have a comic book named Disney because you can trademark it. If you trademark the comic book, then Disney's fucked. I mean, Disney's a bad example, but if Eric wanted to trademark the actual name of his comic book, which you can, then the ministry school will be fucked, because now they have a competitor who can then go on to say, well, I have a book of ISOM. Now I'm going to go on to media and entertainment and make movies and all this other. I'm going to choke people with anti-woke culture war bullshit that they can't stop feeding at like a trough for pigs. the ISOM ministry would be fucked. So now you got a situation where, you know what, I'm just going to read his tweet. I hope everybody can see this okay. Probably. My ojos ain't too good. And no mas. Can you guys see that in the chat? It's I suck off men, right? Eric says where he actually got the name. Well, Eric says where he got the name now. He says that Eric says he got the name. We're going to watch the video in a second, but he says he got the name from his great-great-great-great-grandfather, Buford Mad Dog ISOM, which, I mean, I don't know. You didn't say that before. Before it was, could be anything. So maybe it was the Christian ministry before, and now he just changed it. Let me see. If I miss anything in here? No, okay. Okay, let me know if I miss anything in there, Discord guys, the chat guys. Okay. This is from Berin Gilifillan? Berin Gilifillan. Bunny's in the chat. Berin Gilifillan, who's the CEO of ISOM.org. He seems like a nice version of Eli Gemstone from the Righteous Gemstones, like John Goodman, but nice. Like not the satirical version of himself. There's like pictures of him doing charity work in other countries, like shit that I would never do. Shit that where you have a funeral and they show all these nice pictures of what a good guy you were. I have 0 of those pictures. He has all of them. Here's what he says. Here's what Berin says. Seems like a nice guy. ISOM trademark lawsuit update. Why serving the lawsuit against Eric July and the Rippaverse LLC has now become necessary. At Eric D. July, hashtag ISOM, hashtag Rippaverse. It is with deep sadness that Good Shepherd Ministries. What was that? It's fine if she barks. She'll stop. Sadness that Good Shepherd Ministries International announces that its efforts to reasonably settle its ISOM trademark dispute with Mr. Eric July and his business, Rippaverse LLC, have been unsuccessful. Oh. How about this one, too? Day of Jihad, Eric! The day of Jihad starts now! All right. Good Shepherd had hoped to avoid the time, effort, expense, and uncertainty associated with litigation. But settlement negotiations have reached an impasse. I don't know why, but I picture him talking like Lindsey Graham. I mean, I hope he doesn't, because Lindsey Graham should burn in hell, but I picture it. Good Shepherd will now serve its lawsuit on Mr. July's company and seek relief in court. With the serving of this lawsuit, all previous settlement offers are off the table. Is that too much sound effects? I just got this. I finally filled out the sound effects board with all the shit I was missing. Okay, so they had tried to negotiate with Eric July, and Eric July was juggling being the worst writer on the planet and playing around with Riley, playing silly games in his parking lot, going on to Nick Rekieta's show and making a total ass of himself and mumble fucking his way through a defense of charity fraud that just made people that made people who didn't even know about it absolutely certain he was doing something fucked up. Eric was wasting his time doing that instead of looking at the cost of a lawsuit and and negotiating with these guys, which is insane. I don't know how much. I know how much this lawsuit. I would peg it at probably 300,000 at least. If you're defending yourself like in a full-blown lawsuit against a well-funded Christian ministry on trademark infringement, and you've infringed upon their trademark to the tune of $6 million and you're on the internet calling people N-words all the time and saying fuck this, fuck that, goddamn, like all kinds of, like you're some kind of fucking criminal ex-gangbanger, man, if they give you the option of settling, you just shut your mouth and fucking settle it. But that's pride for you, buddy. It's hard to deal when you're in a white man's world. This might be the first time you had to swallow your pride, Eric, and you didn't, and you fucked it up. Okay, let's see. Good Shepherd had hoped to. You just do the calculation in your head. Like, what could they have been? What could they have wanted? Proceeds? It's got to be some fucking licensing fee from like $20,000 to probably $120,000 a year. And they deserve it for having their brand fucked with. And like changing the name of the comic to The Adventures of ISOM, or that would factor into it, and changing the titles of his fundraising pages from ISOM to like The Adventures of ISOM comic, or the incredible farting ISOM, or something like that. Or just change it to I Suck Off Men, which it obviously was. Good Shepherd will now serve its lawsuit on Mr. July's company and seek relief in court. With the serving of this lawsuit, all previous settlement offers are off the table. Ooh, that's like how Israel negotiates with Palestine. Boom! Give us those hoes back. No? All previous offers are off the table. We shall commence bombing. Good Shepherd intends to defend with everything it has its Good ISOM name. We created that name over 25 years ago and have grown it prolifically on a global scale in the ensuing decades. We are at peace, knowing that we tried hard to resolve this out of court through a simple settlement. Even though we failed, we are confident that a jury trial... Do you know how fucking expensive this is going to be, Eric? You idiot? God. Oh. All you had to do was Google the name, bro, and I know you did. Everybody, I mean, what am I saying? Every writer would Google the name of his book, but you're not a writer, so maybe you actually didn't. It's just impossible that you didn't. It's fucking impossible that you didn't at some point Google the name of your lead book, your main character, even by accident. Is it by accident or on accident? It's by. Yeah. Let me get a. Is it if it's by in chat? Let me know. Rip Dodgers? No, did they lose? I gotta call Randy after this. Rippaverse is ISOM. Yeah, that's obvious, man. Like, it's fucking obvious. It happens in comics all the time. Where was I at? We created the name. Yeah, even though we failed, we are confident that a jury trial in the legal system will bring a just resolution to this matter. Some related information is set forth below. The core issue in this dispute is trademark infringement. A basic test for trademark infringement is whether consumers are likely to be confused as to the source of the trademarked things. In other words, are consumers likely to think there is a connection between, one, Good Shepherd's decades of using its ISOM trademark and Good Shepherd's U.S. registration of its ISOM's trademark, and two, Mr. July and his company starting a little over a year ago to use ISOM as the name of a graphic serial novel character. As mentioned below, it's actually the serial novel title and the shirts and shit, too. As mentioned below, we already are far past a likelihood of confusion. We have evidence that Mr. July and his company have caused actual confusion. Vito's coy about this, but he thought they were working together from the get-go when he first heard about it. Everybody does. Jesus fucking Christ. You hear about... Oh, sorry. You hear about ISOM when let's say you're at a Christian conference or whatever, you want to get a ministry started, and you're like, yeah, I kind of like you guys. I should sign up and learn how to be a minister. Or, being a minister and being a podcaster is basically the same thing, right? You show up at a ministry convention, you're like, I got to learn how to patter like you. I got to learn some tips of how to build my ministry and stuff. You guys have a thing I can attend, right? Yeah, we're ISOM. Check us out. You go home, you punch in ISOM, and it says, oh, what's this, a comic? Maybe the comic's about ministry. Maybe I use the comic to get people in, and then you click it and you're like, what the fuck? This is just about money. What is this shit? It's about money and respect and anger and not having a dad. Ugh, I don't want any of this. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to the other one. I'm gonna go to another one of these guys. I'll go to the Gemstones Ministry School. It's so fucking obvious to be confusing. Mr. July and his company used our ISOM trademark as a character name and title to launch their Rippaverse company. They found a receptive audience, and every month, their infringing use of our ISOM trademark has been increasing. This is being accomplished through search engine optimization, social media posts, and other online postings that highlight our trademarked ISOM name. As a result, that's true. He's not saying ISOM comic, it's just hashtag ISOM. As a result, their infringement of our ISOM trademark is now at a point where it's colliding with our customers and our organizational use and cannot be ignored. The recent lawsuit controversy over their infringement has only amplified everything and resulted in extensive coverage of ISOM on podcasts, blogs, vlogs, X, and YouTube channels. This is only adding to the confusion. Well, it's not adding to the, it's adding to the disparagement of the brand too, man. You got Eric July's hundreds of thousands of retarded fatherless fans who can't even fucking spell or who think there's such a thing as a private business parking lot that you can't drive into or else they're going to air you out or ventilate you or whatever the fuck they're talking about. You got all these dumb fuck Eric July fans constantly harassing the ministry because they were harmed by their token black comic creator father, and they're just lashing out angrily at the ISOM ministry, review bombing it, being little cocksuckers. Even that is a fucking problem. Here are some of the many reasons for the likely and actual conclusions, and then the confusion. And then we're going to watch Eric July's retarded video on this. It's like a 13-minute video. I've only seen clips so far, but the clips I saw were pretty fucking hilarious. Both organizations spell the ISOM name in the exact same way. Huh? Yeah. All caps. As a result, internet searches of the word ISOM bring up both organizations and products side by side. Under images and on YouTube, this confusion is amplified. Yep, social media hashtags including ISOM are similarly confusing, especially hashtag ISOM. Let's see what's on hashtag ISOM, shall we, boys and girls? Shall we chat? Number one up is Riley talking about Eric July filing a false DMCA claim against him, which is basically the start of illegal proceedings against Riley. So if Eric wants to say that Christians shouldn't be suing anybody, he can go fuck himself for filing the false DMCA claim against Riley. Then we've got Matt Jarbo. Listen to me. If there are two things you do not want to see come up on your brand search, it's Riley and Matt Jarbo. This is a bad customer experience. Matt, I know that Rippaverse's ISOM is bad, but I know I was this self-aware. If only I had better writing, I could fly. Yeah. There's more of Matt. Wow, Matt Jarbo is really bringing the heat here. A very angry-looking gentleman of some kind of persuasion. I don't know, angrily reading a lawsuit. Okay. Berin Gilifillan, more Riley, more Matt Jarbo. What the fuck? Eric July's arm hair. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this is.
Just showed up. What's the big deal? What's the big deal with someone showing up at your business? Put your business information that you may be at, that you own, right? Go put that. Go put that information out, McSock account. It's funny. Well, I also own a business. It's funny.
Yeah, that's called the Yellow Pages, you shithead. You had a giant logo of your business on the side of your building. What do you mean, go put my business address out? What's the business for? What is it, no girls allowed business? What the fuck are you talking about, Eric?
Going by Dickhead McGee. You're not going by your real fucking name. You don't have anything about your personal business, your personal life, or any semblance of that. But you get to tell someone that does. You can tell someone that does what he shouldn't be reacting to. And in McSock account, I'll tell you what, I'll take that.
Eric, you shouldn't have been reacting to any of this, bro. You should have just been making a better comic. How does this help you? How does getting made fun of help you, man? Fucking think. Classy. Then you got people saying it's absolutely frivolous, saying that it's not a Christian organization. Picture of a potato here. I don't know what that has to do with anything. All right, so hashtag's bad. Both organizations pronounce the ISOM name in the exact same way. Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, okay, they do. Both organizations are engaged in the online sales of publishing content. That's a big part of it. It's not ISOM the hamburger stand versus ISOM the car company. They're both online publishers. Like, they're both selling publishing. They're both selling published material online. It's not different businesses. Doesn't matter if they're selling. It doesn't matter if they're selling different stuff. You idiots. You rippatards. God. Both organizations have products that have a Christian theme or mark. Mr. July included a cross on his character's penis. They say belt, but it's penis. Both organizations have overlapping conservative Christian audiences. It's true. Both organizations are involved in charity work. Oh, well, one of you, I'm sure, is involved in charity. Well, one of you is donating to charity. I'm sure about that. One of you I don't know about. But you're both involved in charities in some capacity. I suppose that's true. I don't know if both of you are making a little off the top, or both of you, or I don't know if both of you get all fucking tongue-tied when someone asks you a specific question like, of the $17 you're collecting for charity, how much goes to the charity? And you go, and you start seeing algebra in your head. I don't know if that's both of you or just one of you. Both organizations have merch products that look very similar. Okay, as mentioned above, Mr. July's use of ISOM is not just likely to cause confusion. Already, we have come across many examples of people actually just being confused as to whether we are the source of or associated with Mr. July's comic book characters. Yeah, it's a valid question because ISOM the comic reads like it was shit out by no offense, by a Christian organization that is not interested in telling good stories. If you look at a Christian, like, if in your mind you can picture what a Christian comic would be like, it is morality hitting you on the head, no surprises. Like, it's like like a heroin junkie. There's a real bad guy, and then it's like fucking. It's the difference between God, what was that Michael Landon show where he's an angel? Is it Helped by an Angel? Somebody tell me. It's the difference between Quantum Leap and Touched by an Angel. Let me make sure that's the right show. Because the one with Michael Landon sucked. Highway to fucking heaven. Yeah, Highway to Heaven. All right. Oh my, what was that? It's the difference between Highway to Heaven and Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap was a great show, nuanced, tricky, great act structures. Highway to Heaven, stupid, predictable. Just talked about God at the end. That's what ISOM looks like. It fucking sucks. Okay. And both organizations have merch projects that look very similar. Yeah, they do. As mentioned above, Mr. July's use of ISOM is not just likely to cause confusion. We've already come across many examples of people actually being confused as to whether we are the source of or associated with Mr. July's comic book character. The damage done to our ISOM name is obvious. No fucking shit. Here's just one very recent example of such actual confusion. Hello. The email that he includes says, hello. This is a woman No, this is Robert. Hello. I apologize for such a strange email, but I just recently saw a YouTube video my son was watching, and I saw something that genuinely concerned me regarding ISOM. I may have misunderstood, but from what I understand, a man representing your brand stole money from children in need. And frankly, I find that unacceptable. Now, look, I don't know if this is a real email, but we're at the point where I can't tell the difference. I don't know that this is a joke email. It sounds funny because I'm reading it in a funny way, but it could just as easily be a real fucking email. You guys do not know what Christian complaints look like or sound like. I certainly don't blame you or ISOM for associating with such a man, as he may not and hopefully does not reflect the values of ISOM. But I don't think my worry is unfounded. I myself am a devout Christian, and to see someone abuse the faith in such a manner is abhorrent. Please get back to me when you can, and best regards, Robert. See, I think that's real because I know my audience. I know what dickheads are like. They cannot resist putting fucking jokes in everything. So if this was a joke email, it would probably say, best regards, George, or best regards, Robert Oxmad, or some kind of, or the first letter of everything would spell out I'm gay. Or let me see if it says I'm gay. No, it's written like a normal person where every sentence starts with fucking I. Do we think that's real? Give me a 1 in chat if you think that's real. Give me a 2 if it's it. There's no jokes in there. Even the aberrant, even the abhorrent. A dickhead wouldn't use abhorrent either. I don't think they understand what that means. Like I know they understand the definition of the word. I just don't think they understand when to use it because they don't see things that way. 1, yeah, 1, real. Everyone's saying it's real. I think it's real too. 1. Everyone says, uh-oh, we got a retard that says it's 2. Sean Extifer. Where's my retard alert? Fuck, I don't have it. Okay. Papa Drew says it's real, Dick. It's undeniably real. I definitely did not know how a real letter from a godly Robert would sound. Yeah. I don't know. No clue. I got 1, 2 from another fucking idiot. Everyone else is... Did I say 1's meant it's real or fake? I think 1's meant real. Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. After responding that we had no affiliation with Mr. July, we asked how this person got to know our ISOM program, and we got this response October 5th, 2023. Hello, Dr. Gilifillan. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for my accusatory email. I was certainly mistaken, and for that I sincerely apologize. I only somewhat knew of the ISOM program from a little over a year ago, where after I retired, I was able to focus more on my religion. I've been looking through different programs to advance my connection with the Lord. ISOM being one of the main programs I was looking into. No fucking way a dickhead would use a semicolon correctly like that. I just felt the need to reach out and ensure that the faith wasn't being used for frankly despicable purposes. Or at least if I understood the video I overheard correctly. I learned a little more about the controversy from my son. And I learned after that there was no connection between the two. Best regards, Robert. No fucking way that's fake. That's real. Regardless of the validity of the accusations contained in the above emails, it's easy to see how Good Shepherd can get discredited by every controversy generated or faced by Mr. July and his ISOM comic book brand, and he generates controversy fucking constantly. He does it on purpose to make money. Eric July is constantly pissing people off and getting into fights that he loses to monetize the haters and make money. Why the fuck would a Christian ministry want their trademark associated with that idiot? Good Christian Shepherd is a Christian ministry. It's 100% a 501c3 nonprofit that is significantly sustained through donations. These donations depend massively on public trust and financial and organizational integrity. The damage to our charity's reputation by Mr. July's use of our trademark ISOM name is extremely real and significant, as mentioned above. At great expense and effort, Good Shepherd adopted and has used for decades our name ISOM. That is how we are referred to all over the world. Duh. This is no different than other organizations like IHOP, IBM, and KFC, whose branding has become their trademark letters. The 1-minute video below is on our ISOM homepage and clearly shows the use of our ISOM name and the scope of the projects we are involved in under our ISOM name all over the world. Mr. July is not shy about his personally held beliefs and has a significant audience, especially on YouTube. While he is certainly entitled to his own beliefs, we do not want his beliefs, statements, and actions to be wrongly attributed to Good Shepherd because of Mr. July's use of our registered trademark ISOM. Specifically, and among other things, Good Shepherd is concerned about Mr. July's prolific use of unacceptable swear words. Eric! Shouldn't have called everyone the N-word, Eric! Eric! You shouldn't be calling people the N-word, Eric! That word has kept us down for 400 years and it just rolls off your tongue, Eric! You should be ashamed of yourself! Using the N-word like you do, Eric! Ashamed of yourself! Here you are. Maybe the good Lord can reach you, Eric, where I failed to reach you. I said, Eric, apologize for calling me the N-word. That's horrible. It's terrible, Eric. Did you not watch Crash? I had to watch it. I live in L.A. Everyone in L.A. has to mandatorily watch Crash at least once a year before the Oscars, Eric. And that movie teaches us that the N-word is so bad and drives so much tension between us races, drives a schism of divide. And you're not just intention only, Eric. Stop using the N-word, Eric, please. But I failed. Maybe God will be able to soften your heart to my desperate plea for you to, Eric, stop using that filthy N-word. Son, it's no good. It's not going to get you anywhere, son. Using the N-word like you do, trying to sell comics, trying to sell N-word-based comics. That was too far. Being associated with that usage is deeply troubling to us. I mean, I wouldn't let him say it on my fucking show. So, yeah, if you can't say it on my show, it's a fucking problem. It's really makes me annoyed that Eric July is able to say the N-word on YouTube like he does. He's not that black. He's not black enough to be using it as much as he does. Being associated with that usage is deeply troubling for us. And even more disturbing is when Mr. July uses the name of Jesus Christ in vain. Woo! You think? You think, Eric, you mumblefuck dummy? You think they would have a problem with this shit that you're saying? God damn, you idiot. To us is completely unacceptable for someone claiming to represent the Christian faith. We've gathered evidence of these unacceptable verbal usages, and our board of directors does not want our ISOM brand to be confused with or associated with Mr. July or his ISOM brand. Do we need to have a legal defense fund? I know the quartering's taking Eric's side. Anything you need, Eric. Like they've been ass buddies since college. Maybe they were roommates together. I don't know. In short, some of Mr. July's public statements, actions, and persona do not reflect the Good Shepherd's core values or ways of communicating our values. Now, this is great. I mean, this is good. This is good for them, like PR wise, which is the point of it. I don't know if it's the strongest legal case. That guy says the N-word all the time and goddamn it and stuff. I think their lawsuit will look different than this. So a lot of ripatards and other retards, everybody thinks they're so fucking smart on the internet. And they all hate me. So they're really looking stupid defending this shit. But the lawsuit's going to look different than this. This is a PR statement. Ask me how I know. I mean, maybe I'll tell you sometime. That's just my hunch. I've seen a lot of PR statements. That's all. That's why he's talking about all this God shit. It's a good PR statement. It's good. Unassailable. For these reasons and many more, because it plants you don't know what unacceptable swear words he's saying. You know, it puts the idea in your head. For these reasons and many more, we are serving our lawsuit. Despite our efforts, Mr. July and his company refuse to acknowledge that they have in any way infringed on our ISOM trademark rights. This infringement matter is central to everything else. Unfortunately, it appears the legal system is needed to resolve the core issue. Only after trademark infringement has been confirmed can any further negotiation be meaningful. Sincerely, Dr. Berin Gilifillan, ISOM and Good Shepherd founder. Well, I wish you luck, sir. Very well put. There was not one instance of what it is that shows up anywhere in that gigantic post, and Eric July cannot make it through half a sentence without saying what it is. What do we think? Give me what do you think just based on this? Who's winning the PR more? One for ISOM, and you know what? Pick any symbol you want if you want to vote for Eric. I was gonna suggest one, but I hate to put ideas in your head. You know. Dick's stances on slurs is pro-slurring. He just didn't want people to shit up his show with them. Well, yeah, and when you're driving around, like my show is kind of like a 90s era radio. It's like that level of clean. So I know that the audience is out there like driving a truck or whatever, and maybe they have it on in their Uber or they have it on at home, like low, not for the whole fucking family, but it's on low, and there's like acceptable curse words, and then there's not socially acceptable curse words. I don't want that shitting up the show, so people have to go, oh, shit, and turn it down. Go, you fucked me on this one, Dick, you jackass. All right, let me get rid of this for a second. What do we think so far? Bunnies and, yeah? Yeah, Eric does have his fan base wrapped around his little finger. It's pretty crazy. Here's his pre-post that he said. Eric says a Christian organization filed a baseless lawsuit. Okay. This appeared to be an easily resolvable affair. Wow, the writing level fell off a cliff from college down to third grade in this one. He puts Christian in quotes. So we've got libel already. Eric is saying that they're not Christian. All right, man. A quote Christian organization filed a baseless lawsuit. Not against me. You don't want to put that, or against the Rippaverse. Just leave it dead. No subject at all. Okay. Good writing. This appeared to be an easily resolvable affair. It was. It would have been. You just had to give them something. However, after the initial conversations, we were blindsided with demands for perpetual payment. After the initial conversations, what does that mean? We were blindsided with demands for perpetual payment. Okay, so after you said, like, okay, yeah, what do you want? Hi, I'm Eric. I'm not, like, I don't say the N-word all the time. I don't get in fights with people. They just attack me for no reason. Then I assume they made you an offer, and part of that offer was a licensing agreement for every time you use the product and sell it, right? Or some kind of licensing agreement, like what there would have to be to tolerate this shit that you're involved in, because you would be licensing their trademark. You violated it, you'd have to license it. The Rippaverse will not take the frivolous threats lightly. Bro, you're being sued. It's not a threat. You're being fucking sued. I don't know. This one goes out to all the rippetards all the fatherless rippetards out there. I got bad news for you guys. A weak case can still win. A bad case can still win. A case that is fucking wrong can still win. So if you guys are relying on this idea that you know the law better than lawyers who have houses based on how well they know the law, not only are you fucking wrong, but not only are you fucking stupid, but you're also fucking wrong. That's not the only thing you need. You also got to convince a judge. And something tells me the stammering antics of Eric July are not going to go over well in court. But, that's just me. I don't know how things work in Texas. I'm from L.A. I don't know how rootin' tootin' Texas works with all their shooting over parking in an unlicensed parking lot. All the murders you're allowed to commit down there, but something tells me it's not going to go well. Something tells me that 10,000 retarded people attacking a fucking ministry is not going to go over well in court. But, you guys are the experts. Keep gassing Eric up. Just tell him what a great case he has and how stupid everyone else is. Here is what Eric says is our statement. I don't know who the fuck he's talking about. Him and his rock star. When he says rock star lawyers, he means like Marilyn Manson or Keith Richards, I think. He means it literally, like that redheaded idiot that he's got running his finances.